Good morning again, Michael Bird here with video number 3 for Word Right Web in Wilmington, North Carolina. We serve clients all over this community, but also all over the country. I want to talk today, I'm actually going to start into what might be considered video number 1, really just into the fundamentals of search. We talked about initially why I'm doing these videos. And the second video was why you should be interested in what we're doing here. What's in it for you? And today's video, a starting point is to say that search results are not an entitlement. And I'm going to speculate as to why they became an entitlement. The reason I'm doing on this particular thing is to separate getting a website created with getting search results. Sometimes they go together, sometimes they don't. We'll talk at some length later on why that is. But search results are not an entitlement. I hear people say many times, sometimes our customers, I spent money on a website, but I don't come up in Google. There are a lot of things wrong with that statement. But I'm going to start with the big one, which is the two things do not necessarily go together. Sometimes, especially in the past, which is not a long past because the internet's not that old, 15 or 20 years. Sometimes you create a website, you did get search results for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the early days. Just having a website meant that you could come up on the first page of Google. It wasn't that crowded. The second thing is that you might be in an industry, you might be in an endeavor that doesn't have a lot of competition or doesn't have a lot of web savvy competition. Market sectors come to it at various points. One of the first ones to get really good at the internet is real estate. And following that were some of the other professions and some of the trades, but they each come at their own time. It seems like each trade, each profession gets hip to the internet at a different point in the progression, and it tends to go along with how competitive they are, how many people, how many providers, how many businesses there are in that industry. And as we all know, there are lots and lots and lots of real estate agencies, groups, subgroups, brokerages, and so on. There are a lot of people in real estate, and some of them are not that seriously into real estate, but there are a lot of people who are serious into it and compete strongly for search results, but they're not an entitlement. Another way to think about this is that creating a website is a project, and it has an end date. Just like building a house has an end date. There's a day that you move into the house, and there's a day that your website is finished and launched, and it may have been some day in the past for you. And that's it. That's all that happens other than hosting to make sure your website doesn't crash. Search results are a different matter. They are, to some degree, an ongoing process. And we approach it a little bit differently. I'm not going to pitch you on that. But it might be as though you are maintaining a house. And as you know, you move into a house and you still have to maintain it. You have to do all of the routine things that happen. Now, to a certain extent, search results, like home maintenance, do have a far behind and we have so many things to do situation, or we're caught up. And that's where we differentiate. If you're caught up, i.e., you're getting good page 1 results for search terms that matter to you, then you don't have to do a lot of work. Those search results will stay there with you for a period of time. Just like your home maintenance. You clean out your gutters, you don't have to do it next week. But it is an ongoing endeavor. It is something you want to keep an eye on. The best time to, it's kind of like investing, the best time to invest was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. It's really the only one you control. The best time to have paid attention to search results was 10 years ago, if you'd built a website 10 years ago or 15 years ago, you'd be in better shape search-wise than if you just now started your website. But the next best time is today. Start today. 3 months from now, you could be getting some page one results and phone calls from search. So search results are not an entitlement. They are an ongoing endeavor. Now, your takeaway for today is this is an action takeaway, not a passive takeaway like the last one. Still, stay with the last one, which is don't sign any contracts. Your action step for today is to go and search for what you do. And I'm going to show a search on the screen here. 1 second, I'm going to spin around. Here it is. I did a search for home inspection. We have a good client who is in home inspections. And I'm just going to show you what we're talking about. We're not talking about this top section here where it says add. It's a little symbol to the left. It says add. You don't have to see it. When you do a search, you'll see that if you type home inspection. We're not talking about the map. It's important, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about here. Typically, when people talk about a Google search, they're talking about the organic search. This is what Google started with. This is the value proposition. Search for what you do, your trade, your industry. Use a common sense search. Do one. Just see what you see there in that top 10. Don't search for your name because, remember, the prospect doesn't know your name yet. We're looking for the prospect that doesn't know your name, looking for what you do, and just see if you come up. That's our takeaway for today. Michael Bird with WordWrite Web. Thank you.